Today we're going to show you how to put on the ACC C7 rear mudguard. It's a carbon fiber laminated piece of stainless steel. It's designed to fit right into this factory mud shield that they have that GM has made, and it's designed specifically to work with this application. This is not a universal mudguard. What you're going to need to do to get this ready is just kind of shape it like this, the shape of the wheel well, like that, with the curve of the wheel well in there. And then this bracket here has some little perforations, it's going to allow you to tilt this back. Once you get this into position, you'll see exactly what angle to put this on and where this goes. That's pretty much all the preparation you need for that. The next step would be to release this mud pad, and there's a couple of screws underneath that we'll need to release, and then this basically snaps out. So we're just going to kind of come underneath the car here a little bit. Okay, there's a few bolts, screws here, but we only need to take out this one and this one. This is actually connects the valance to the quarter panel. We just need to release this one right here. Just going to take this out, and we'll take this one out. The mudguard itself will just snap out like so, and it's just going to release the entire thing, and then it'll pull out. Now, when we put this back in, we're going to need to change this plastic one to a regular clip. We're going to do that at a special time. This piece right here is just going to come right off, okay? Now, next thing we're going to do is to remove these two screws. Now, these are a torque screws, T15 torque screw. Now, you can do it with a regular socket like this, but by the time you get halfway out, you're not going to have any room between the fender and the tire. So this is the best tool to use. It's a little kind of a ratchet wrench kit. You can get these in just about any auto parts stores these days. They're very inexpensive, real handy thing to have around the house. So you're just going to release these. The rear quarter fender on the C7 has some positioning extrusions, which we'll need to deal with. That's these little lines here. You see them? Now our filler pan, our mudguard has notches to provide for that. However, on a lighter colored car, or white car, red car, blue car like this one, these become a little noticeable. So what we're going to do with those is kind of black those out. Easiest way to do it is just kind of like with a permanent marker, just come in here and just blacken this out. And this will visually eliminate these from the overall end of the installation. And if you have a white car, a really light, bright colored car, you'll understand why this is important. So you see, we just kind of black these out a little bit. Finish taking this off. Okay. Now, the mudguard is going to be attached to the car mainly by these two screws and this one down at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this into position and align these notches just like so. Okay, then put your screws back in. Now at this point, you want to kind of really tweak the shape of the mudguard, just to make sure that you're catching a nice smooth curve. You don't want it to look dented up or anything, and that you're going to be nice and snug to the actual quarter. Just takes a minute. Tweak it like so. Go ahead and put your screws in. Twist this. Now you want to try and set this up so that you know that the mudguard really takes on the shape of the wheel well on its own. You don't really want to have this having outward pressure like so. You want to kind of tweak this up so it almost kind of stays in position by itself, right? Next thing to do is to bolt the bottom bolt in the back. So we'll kind of swing over here. Now you'll see that the tab is going to line up with this hole, so you're just going to kind of tweak that in to position like so, and then reinstall your bolt. Okay, that secures that part of the mudguard. There's some minor preparations you're going to need to do with these clips here. If you'll notice, these are sitting on a little shelf here. Okay, and and it causes this to be raised a little on the tab. You see that? What we want to do is eliminate this gap. This is about the thickness of the mudguard, and when this clips in, it's going to do a real nice job of holding the mudguard right to the fender. So what we're going to want to do, you don't have to take these off or anything. You're just going to use a little snap knife and just kind of pull these little gussets out. Now the gussets, very, very soft, so this isn't going to really take any real difficult labor or anything like that. So you're just removing a little piece of plastic, see, like that. So you're going to want to do that to all of these, just so that you can lower this clip a little. Don't want to try and remove the clip, because the clip digs into this plastic tab via these little spikes in here, and to try and remove this actually is quite difficult, and you can actually ruin the tab. That's how soft the tab is. So you want to try and sneak and do this without trying to remove that. If you have an X-Acto knife, it might be a little bit easier to sneak into these really small little areas and carve that little gusset out of there like that. Really simple thing to do. Now, once these gussets are trimmed like that, it'll take about 1/8 of an inch off, I guess. What that's going to allow you to do is push this all the way down. See, so now this clip is seated on this little tab here. That's exactly what you want all the way down the line. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, probably take it out maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes or so, and then we'll show you the next step. Alright, you can see that we've got all these clips all the way down seated. You only really have to do the 3. This top one goes in and it clips in well enough, so you really don't have to mess with this one too much. It's these 3. Now this bottom one, remember we took this plastic clip off. We're not going to use that. We're going to supply you with the same type of clip here to put this on. Only you're going to put this on after you've gotten this clipped in. So you'll kind of, once you have it snapped in, you'll pull up the mudguard back and you'll put this clip over the mudguard and you'll force the mudguard to be locked onto this. It just allows you to get a nice snug fit with the whole setup. And this tab, okay, is that other bolt, the other screw we took off the rear quarter. So we'll have a notch provided in the mudguard. Well, look at these. These 2 notches in the mudguard are for this tab and this little clip. So we're going to go ahead and set those in. And you want to make sure that you don't miss that fender. And then you'll snap this right in place like so. Okay. See, now you're going to take this other clip that you get in your kit and put it right over that tab, and that's going to lock the mudguard to the factory mudguard. And then you just go ahead and snap that in place like so. All right, now if you're having trouble with your top area snapping into the wheel well and holding fast, what you want to do is just kind of pull the clip off your mudguard, okay? And you can do it the same way you did at the bottom. Sometimes this works fine where it'll just snap in fine, and sometimes it just doesn't want to. So then in that case, you'll just kind of reposition this to the outside of your mudguard like so, and then clip that in. And that will hold that mudguard nice. Line up your hole with your bracket. And put your screw in. Because you're shaping the mudguard to the wheel well and there's notches in here, it has a tendency to get these little unsmooth bumps. You see how you have that? It's a little not smooth. But you can easily fix that by just kind of tweaking the shape a little. And if you see anything that doesn't look quite right, you're just going to want to smooth that out like so. And that'll get you a nice fit. That's how you put that mudguard in.